Hey, I'm Liam, aka Brixter. Check this out. Lego Technic allows us to do a lot of really cool things, such as building catapults like this. And in today's episode of Lego Basics, we'll be taking a look at how to build catapults just like this. Let's get into it. So before we start actually building the catapult, let's go over some quick Technic basics. These pieces are pins. The light gray type is really easy to rotate. This type, not so much. So for wheels or things you want to spin easily, use light gray. There are axles, which are similar to pins, but they're in like this X or cross shape that can hold stuff more firmly together. And there are longer types of pins, like what I use to attach down at the bottom here. Now, there are lots more types of Technic pieces, but let's go ahead and get into the catapult. Here we have Technic beams. There are two types, one without studs and one with studs. The type without studs isn't very good at connecting to plates or bricks, but the type with studs is really good at it. So that's how I made the base. I used some Technic beams with studs to connect down here. Now between these Technic beams, there is this L-shaped Technic piece, which makes this whole section go upwards like a tower for the catapult. That L-shaped bar keeps this tower from going sideways. This whole section is simply just one Technic piece, and as you can see, I used two Technic pins here so that it would be really strong and wouldn't flip. Up top, I only use one Technic pin, right? Because we want this whole section here to be able to rotate. Now, I made this longer than simply this one Technic beam with some plates interlocking these bricks. At the end, I created some sort of basket with a plate, some bricks, and lots of plates on top to interlock. Now you can just stick a piece in there and use it to shoot. If we attach it back onto the rest of this, you see that it has a really nice hinge ability. It can hinge really easily, but what's it doing now? It's falling way too far down. If I try to shoot, it just goes and hits the table. To solve this problem, I'm going to use a new type of Technic pin. This one has a regular pin on one side and an axle on the other side. This can attach into a little brick like this, round brick, just like so. And that I'm going to place right here, which stops it from going too far down on either side and gives it kind of an optimum angle. But there are other things that you can think about when building a catapult, like leverage. Leverage is a concept that you may have experienced on a seesaw. Basically, leverage says that if the fulcrum, or the point where the hinge is at, is farther to one side, it'll be easier or harder to lift what's on the other side. So if I put this really far over here, I'm going to have a hard time pushing this down and flipping it. But if I go way over here, then I'll have an easy time flipping it. So let's try putting it over here for a minute. Now, the one issue with this is that it takes longer for me to push this all the way down than it was to push it a shorter distance, because my finger has to travel farther. So there's sort of a trade-off. If you have it longer out here, it's easier, but it's also maybe not as fast. So experiment, figure out what works best for you and your catapult. So I hope you had a lot of fun building your very own Lego catapult. These are a lot of fun just to, have around, play with your friends. You could even make a little bowl out of Legos and try to shoot into the bowl. Anyhow, next time we'll be bringing everything that we've been working on over the last 7 weeks together and building mechs. I am so excited. It's going to be epic. So be sure to subscribe to the channel. And if you enjoyed learning how to make your own catapult, hit that like button down below. Until next time, keep on building. Peace.